Hi, I'm Soph. I'm 28 and doing well in my marketing job, and I'm married to Ihani, a great guy who's 30 and a successful software engineer. We were living our dream, or so I thought, when we first got married. I wanted to be the perfect daughter-in-law. Ihani's parents, Linda and Robert, seemed nice at first. I brought homemade pies to family dinners, helped with the dishes, and listened to Linda's long stories about her book club. But then, Linda would correct me on little things, like how to fold napkins. "Oh, Soph dear," she'd say, "that's not how we do it here." I would just smile and nod, trying to ignore it. Ihani said, "That's just how mom is. Don't take it personally." But it wasn't just the napkins. Linda had an opinion on everything: our jobs, our home, even how often we visited. One day, I told my best friend Sarah about it. "They sound like a nightmare," she said. "How does Ihani not see this?" I sighed and explained that he thought I was overreacting. Sarah said, "You need to set some boundaries." Every time I tried to talk to Ihani, he would defend his mom. "They're just trying to help," he'd say. Then came Thanksgiving. Linda called to say she would host dinner this year. "I know you offered, Soph, but you're still learning how to entertain," she said sweetly. I bit my tongue and agreed. She added, "Oh, and bring a homemade pumpkin pie, no store-bought. And please come early to help set up." I hung up, feeling angry. Ihani walked in and asked what was wrong. I hesitated but finally said, "It's just Linda's demands and constant criticism. I feel like nothing I do is good enough." Ihani sighed. "She's just old-fashioned, Soph. It's her way of caring." I couldn't believe it. "Caring? She makes me feel terrible half the time." "Let's not fight about this. It's just one dinner. We'll get through it, okay?" Ihani said. I nodded, but inside, I was dreading Thanksgiving. Sometimes, the people who are supposed to be family can be the most toxic. Thanksgiving Day arrived, and Ihani and I drove to his parents' house. I held the homemade pumpkin pie, hoping it would meet Linda's high expectations. "Ready?" Ihani asked, squeezing my hand. "As ready as I'll ever be," I said, forcing a smile. We walked in, and Linda immediately spotted the pie. "Oh, Soph, you actually made it yourself? How quaint." I bit my tongue and went to the kitchen to help. During dinner, the tension was thick. Linda took a bite of my pie and made a face. "Well, it's interesting. Maybe next time you could try using a proper recipe." That was it. I'd had enough. "Linda, I followed your recipe exactly. If you don't like it, just say so instead of making these passive-aggressive comments." The table went silent. Linda's eyes narrowed. "Excuse me? I'm only trying to help you improve. You clearly need it." "Help me? You've done nothing but criticize and put me down since I married Ihani." Linda gasped dramatically. "How dare you? Robert, are you hearing this?" Robert jumped in. "Now, Soph, that's no way to speak to your mother-in-law. Apologize, right now." I looked at Ihani, hoping he'd back me up, but he just stared at his plate. My voice shaking, I said, "I will not apologize for standing up for myself." Linda stood up and pointed at the door. "Get out, both of you. I won't tolerate such disrespect in my house." Finally, Ihani spoke. "Mom, come on, this is ridiculous. Don't you dare take her side." "Ihani," Linda yelled, "choose right now, us or her." Ihani looked at me, then at his parents. He stood up and took my hand. "Let's go, Soph." We drove in silence to a nearby hotel. Once we were in our room, the reality of what happened hit me, and I started crying. Ihani held me and said, "I'm so sorry, Soph. I should have stood up to them sooner." "Why didn't you?" I asked between sobs. Ihani sighed. "I guess I was in denial about how bad things had gotten. I kept hoping if we just tried harder." "Ihani, we shouldn't have to try harder. They're the problem, not us." We spent the night talking, really talking for the first time in months, about his parents, our marriage, and everything in between. "We need to set some serious boundaries," I said. "I can't keep living like this." Ihani nodded. "You're right. No more excuses. From now on, we're a team. My parents will either respect that, or they'll have to deal with the consequences." As we lay in that hotel room, I felt both sad and relieved. Sad that it had come to this, but relieved that Ihani finally understood. "What do we do now?" I asked. Ihani pulled me closer. "We start over. We'll build our own traditions, and maybe my parents will come around, but if they don't, we'll be okay." I nodded, feeling stronger than I had in months. This Thanksgiving had been a disaster, but it was also a turning point. No more pretending everything was perfect. Ihani and I decided we had enough. We cut ties with his parents and focused on rebuilding our lives, free from their toxic influence. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. We found a cute little apartment across town, far from his parents' neighborhood. We spent weekends painting and decorating, making it truly our own. No Linda criticizing our color choices, no Robert making rude comments about our furniture. It felt like we could finally breathe. Work became my escape. I threw myself into my projects, and it paid off. One day, my boss called me into her office. "Soph, your performance has been outstanding. We'd like to offer you a promotion to senior marketing manager." I was over the moon. When I told Ihani, he picked me up and spun me around the living room. "I'm so proud of you, Soph," he said, smiling from ear to ear. Ihani was doing great too. He started a side project, developing an app for local businesses, and it really took off. "Babe, I just got another client," he'd shout, and we'd do our silly victory dance in the kitchen. Our relationship grew stronger, we talked more, laughed more, and it finally felt like we were a team, facing the world together. Then, about 6 months after Thanksgiving, everything changed. Ihani got a call from his mom. "What do you mean, gambling addiction?" he asked, his face going pale. I could only hear his side of the conversation, but it was enough to know something was wrong. Apparently, Robert had a secret gambling problem, and it had gotten out of control. They were about to lose their house. When Ihani hung up, he looked shocked. They lost everything. Soph, the house, their savings, everything. I felt a mix of emotions, shock, a little bit of satisfaction, I'm only human, and dread, because I knew what was coming. Sure enough, the next day, Linda called Ihani. He put it on speaker. "Ihani, darling," she said sweetly, "your father and I are in a bit of trouble. We were wondering if we could stay with you and Soph for a while, just until we get back on our feet. Rent-free. Of course, you wouldn't charge your own parents, would you?" Ihani looked at me, clearly torn. I don't know, Mom, we'd have to talk about it." After he hung up, Ihani turned to me. "Soph, I know things have been bad, but they're still my parents. Maybe if we help them, they'll realize how wrong they were. Maybe we can fix things." I took a deep breath. "Ihani, honey, I know you want to help, but think about everything they put us through, the criticism, the manipulation, kicking us out on Thanksgiving, and now they want to move in, rent-free?" "But they're family," he said softly. "Family doesn't treat each other the way they treated us," I replied. "If we let them move in, we'll be right back where we started. All the progress we've made, all the peace we've found, it'll be gone." Ihani was quiet for a long time, then he nodded slowly. "You're right, God, you're right. I can't believe I even thought about it. It's just, they're my parents, you know?" I hugged him tightly. "I know, babe, and it's awful that they've put you in this position, but we need to protect ourselves, our relationship, and the life we've built. You're right, no more toxic influences. We've come too far to go back now." As we stood in our little apartment, I felt both relieved and sad. Relieved that we were sticking to our boundaries, but sad that it had come to this. Still, I knew we were making the right choice. Sometimes, the hardest decisions are the ones that help us grow the most. Ihani made the call to his parents and put it on speaker. "Mom, Dad, we've talked it over, and we can't let you move in with us," he said. Linda's voice immediately became sharp. "What? How could you do this to us? We're your parents." "I'm sorry, but it's just not possible," Ihani replied firmly. "This is all Soph's doing, isn't it?" Linda snapped. "She's turned you against us." I couldn't stay silent any longer. "Linda, this was our decision. Your behavior has consequences." "How dare you?" she screamed. "After everything we've done for you." "You mean like kicking us out on Thanksgiving?" I shot back. The call ended with Linda threatening to tell the whole family how awful we were, but we were done being manipulated. We decided to host a housewarming party, inviting extended family and friends. It was time to set the record straight. During the party, Ihani's cousin, Amy, approached me. "Hey, Soph, is it true you refused to help Linda and Robert because you're jealous of their relationship?" I was stunned. "What? No, absolutely not. Where did you hear that?" Amy looked uncomfortable. "Linda's been telling everyone that you're trying to come between them and Ihani." That was the last straw. I gathered everyone's attention. "I need to clear something up," I said. "Linda and Robert have been spreading lies about us. I told them everything, the constant criticism, the Thanksgiving disaster, the manipulation." Ihani chimed in, explaining more about his dad's gambling addiction. The room fell silent. Then, Ihani-san spoke up. I always thought Linda exaggerated about you, Soph. I'm so sorry we believed her. As the party continued, more family members came up to us, apologizing and sharing their own stories of Linda's manipulation. A week later, we got a call from Ihani's cousin. You won't believe this, she said. Linda and Robert are being evicted. Turns out Robert owes money to some shady people, and they might even face legal trouble. Ihani sighed. Part of me feels guilty, he said. I squeezed his hand. We can't set ourselves on fire to keep them warm. They made their choices. That evening, we reaffirmed our commitment to each other and the boundaries we had set. No more toxic influences. No more manipulation. Meanwhile, Ihani and I were thriving. My career was taking off, and Ihani's app business was booming. We even started talking about having kids. One night, as we sat on our balcony watching the sunset, Ihani turned to me and said, "You know, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm grateful for that Thanksgiving disaster. It opened my eyes. It was hard, but look at us now, we're stronger because of it. No more pretending everything's perfect. Just us, building our life on our terms." As the sun set and the sky darkened, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. Our story wasn't about revenge, it was about standing up for ourselves, setting boundaries, and choosing happiness. Sometimes, the best way to move forward is simply by living well. Now that our story is over, I have a question for you. Was I wrong to refuse to help my in-laws, even after everything they put us through, despite their serious financial troubles? Where do you draw the line between family loyalty and taking care of yourself? Should we always help family, no matter how toxic they've been? Or is it okay to protect our own mental health and happiness? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What would you do in this situation? If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more like it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support means everything to me and helps me keep sharing real-life experiences. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next video.